What is going on, DC Fitness Squad? Hope you're all doing well and amazing. It's your coach, Danny C, coming at you live. And today we have a special guest star, my graduated client, Mark Brown. Mark, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. How about you? It's like awesome to be here with you. It's like it's so good to see you as always. It's like you're amazing and you've helped me so much. So it's an honor to be here. So
Awesome. Mark, I appreciate you so much. I'm excited to tell a little bit about your story. Before we get into the podcast, if you're watching on Instagram, I would head on Facebook so you could actually see Mark. He's looking shredded. I gotta say, like he's Mark. How old are you? How old are you? Can you share that?
I've just turned 60. So I even hate to admit
60.
this is the first time I've said that I'm 60 years old. So I just turned 60 last month. So
Wow. 60 years old, and he has the guns of a 22-year-old. Look at that. I love it. Well, if you're on Instagram, hop on Facebook. We're having a good time on there. If you're watching live or on the replay, just hashtag I'm here so we know who's tuning in, just so we can see who's getting inspired today. All right. Mark lost 27 pounds in 90 days with me. And the whole point of bringing him on is just to inspire some individuals, right? Because we're going to talk about this, but Mark, kind of put on the quarantine 15, right? He put on a little bit of weight. It was kind of going up, feeling a little bit sluggish. So I know there's going to be somebody watching in your shoes, Mark, that hopefully we can inspire today. All right. Is that fair? Cool.
absolutely perfect. Couldn't be better.
Awesome. Appreciate you. So I'm going to start this podcast up and we'll get a countdown going and we'll start from there. Get the intro. Whoa, countdown is loud. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you massive value that you can implement on your fat loss journey. Today, we are coming at you live with a special guest star, my graduated client, Mark Brown. I know him as Mark the freaking Shark. But Mark, what is going on, man? How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. So everybody listening to the podcast, I really appreciate you. I am bringing on Mark because he lost 27 pounds in 90 days in our fat loss program, and he's crushing it. He's learning how to sustain these results. And everyone on the podcast, you can't see him, but he's 60 years old and he's looking shredded right now. He just worked out, and I'm freaking excited for him. So we're going to hop into it, Mark, if that's okay with you. All right. So let's give the audience kind of a bit of a backstory of like who you are. We talked about how old you are, you're 60, but like what you do for work and where you're from. Let's start there.
Okay. So I'm probably like everybody else. The world's like, I work for an insurance company. And what I do is I help motivate people to sell insurance, and I go out and visit them in their offices here in Metro Atlanta. Of course, COVID changed the whole world, and I went from going out and seeing people and being motivated and stuff to sitting in my desk for almost 18 months. I know it affected everybody else. It affected me too, negatively, to the fact of where, you get depressed sitting at the house. I ate too much. I drank too much, and I put on some weight and just wasn't feeling good and wasn't looking good. So instead of turning I guess having a negative, I turned a negative into a positive. Been going online, looking at Danny's posts and stuff, especially stuff from working out from the house. That's how I got started, and then Danny reached out to me. One of the best things I've ever done in my life. He changed my life, helped me to become a better person, more active, more, I guess, more confident in myself. So, it helps you aesthetically, but also mentally. It changed everything about me.
Mark, I love it. I appreciate you so much. So let's talk, because you kind of mentioned it. You brought up, let me actually just delete my Facebook's going freaking crazy. I'm going to delete that off my tabs. But so you talked about, and thank you for being open and vulnerable, being like, I was struggling, kind of going to like eating a little bit too much and maybe drinking a little bit too much. Like, I totally get it. I was there myself. We get in those periods, especially during COVID. So kind of talk about, before we started working together, you were kind of stuck, right? Like, what was the biggest struggle in terms of your fitness journey and like really helping you lose weight? What was the biggest obstacle for you, Mark?
I guess the biggest thing is just, it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. You change your life, change your diet. It's forever and ever. It's like, and just like exercise, you can always find an excuse not to exercise. Younger, I was always really skinny. I ran. Skinny guys don't do a whole lot of weights, but I ran it. So I've done 10 different marathons, but I had just gotten lazy. I had gotten into a rut where I wasn't doing a lot of physical exercise.
Yeah.
and COVID just kind of kicked that into overdrive to where the older you get, you do start gaining weight, unlike in your 20s, the way you can lose weight very easily. So I had just gotten into a bad place, and I decided I was going to change that. I wasn't getting any younger, so I wanted to do something to help change that. That's why I got involved with Danny, to try to motivate me. And if you're coming with Danny, if you're going to sign up with him, I highly recommend that, because he'll keep you accountable. That's the main thing, is like, and if you have friends, what I did with one of my friends was I kind of partnered with him on our diet, and then even stopping drinking. So alcohol is a big thing. It's horrible for your body. And if you have a partner to kind of help push you in that direction, Danny can do it if you have Danny. And he helped me with my diet. He helped me with my exercise. And he would look at, he logs your, what you're supposed to do every week. And he would look at my exercises, and, you know, I mean, when I needed to be, got known to, is like to get away, kicking the butt to do my right thing. So.
Yes, Mark, I love it. I appreciate you. And that's kind of how we got you back on track with the accountability and stuff. So, you know, kind of going back to, you know, before that, like, I loved how you got the results. We held you accountable. We kept you motivated. But before that, you talked about kind of being struggling. You had like the sedentary job, and, you know, the scale was going up. So outside of just like the appearance, how was that kind of like negatively impacting you? You talked about like confidence a little bit. What about kind of like motivation or just energy levels and things like that? How was it kind of negatively impacting you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, anytime you exercise, of course, it increases your endorphins, and it helps you feel better and more confident about yourself. I guess I had become very sedentary in the fact that I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't as social as I used to be, because I wasn't as confident with my looks and my weight and that I did. So you start surrounding yourself with people that are more like you, going to the gym, exercising. It puts you in a better state of mind. And it's one of those things. It doesn't start when Danny and I first started working together. The first 4 to 6 weeks, I was like, what am I doing? Because I just didn't see any change. And then about between 4 and 6, things started changing. So exercise is never something that's like immediate. As Danny's told me before, I didn't get in this shape overnight. So it takes a while to like transition yourself into a better place, to eating better, to exercising, and even looking better.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I love that, Mark. Perfectly said too. It's like a lot of people want to get to a weight they've never gotten to. Meanwhile, they, you know, took like 20 years to gain all this weight, and they want to lose it in eight weeks. You know what I mean? And but like with you, you just kept consistent, and you kept just pushing, you kept grinding, and like, look at you now. So I love that. But, you know, let's talk about when we first met each other. Before you really signed up, you got, you know, amazing results, lost 27 pounds. What was honestly the initial hesitation before working with me?
I guess the initial hesitation, of course, I think everybody always probably has the monetary hesitation, is like, if I invest this money, is it going to be worth my time? That's probably everybody's initial thing. But at the same time, part of my initial hesitation was, if I spend this money, I've got to achieve results. You know, so am I really going to follow through with what I'm signing up to do? Because a lot of people sign up for stuff and then they don't follow through with it. Danny helped me keep on my track. He helped hold me accountable. My money was very well spent. You know, and, you know, along with the hesitation, doing stuff, Danny keeping you accountable and stuff, and then other people start noticing. Other people start noticing the changes in you. Even last week, I was walking one of my dogs, and one of my neighbors made a comment. She's like, well, I know another guy from the Ukrainian refugee, is like, you know, we need some clothes for him, but he's not as in good a shape he used, but he's about your size. So along the way, it really helps you.
That's awesome. I love that, Mark. I love it. So you talked about some of your results. Like, I know you lost 27 pounds in 90 days, and you lost even more than that, because I know we worked together for like about 5-6 months, right? And now you're really keeping it off, and you still keep like coaching by your side, which is amazing. I'm a huge advocate for just mentorship, so I love that. But like, talk about the specific results that we got working together. Yes, you lost a lot of weight, but like, talk about, you know, some other things that you saw were like really noticeable, and you're like, wow, this actually helped me a lot. What are some other results, Mark?
Okay, so, well, one of the things is my waist had expanded. And I had gone up. I always had a smaller waist, a 30, 32 waist. I had gone up to a 34 and decided that I wasn't going to buy. It was a time to point where I needed to buy bigger jeans. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So that was my initial kick in the butt. So not only did I lose the 27 pounds, I've gained a little bit back, but it's completely different weight. I've lost 4 inches of my waist. So I can wear 32 now.
Right.
I have gone down in shirt size. I've reduced my body fat from 26.9% down to 19%.
Let's go.
And that's probably the biggest thing is like you're seeing changes in your body, not necessarily just your weight, but you see things moving around and your pecs developing or your biceps or, just shrinking in the waist and, even your abs starting to develop and stuff. I always joked, Danny, when we first started, I wanted a 20-year-old body like him, even though I'm way, but it's possible to like change your life and change the way you look, no matter what your age, whether you're 20, 40 or 60. So.
Yes, I love it. I love it, Mark. Spot on. So you lost this weight. You went from 26, I think 0.9% body fat to like 19. That's phenomenal right there. Because I love kind of like non-scale victories. 27 pounds is amazing, but the non-scale victories for me is awesome as well. And like speaking of non-scale victories, like outside of fitness, what would you say like were some of the biggest changes in your life when you got these results, Mark?
I mean, it affects you mentally. So mentally, you get in a better mood. You're a happier person. You have the endorphins versus all the fatty foods and the fried foods and the alcohol and stuff. It's more of a depressant. It brings you down. So I had the opportunity to like be more positive, be more productive in my job, have more energy. I bought a Fitbit, so I keep up with my daily tracking. I try to walk at least 5 miles a day.
Let's go.
6 days a week. So that's on top of everything else. So it just kind of helps keep you accountable. It's something that shows what you're doing, and then it kind of kicks you in the butt. But the energy level's up, the confidence is up, and other people notice too. Other people notice changes in you, not just the physical changes.
So awesome. That's amazing. And it's just like, from where you started, and I know we always look at those pictures, like when you took those on your porch, if you remember that, right? It's like from where you started to just now, I mean, it's just been an amazing transformation. And it's like, it just doesn't happen overnight, right? And I think that's what people want. That's why people do like the cheaper cookie cutter hands-off programs. Like they want to just do the 30-day fix. It does take time, but if you really just give the process time, like you're going to change your whole life, right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to be, as Danny said, meet me halfway. That's always what he used to tell me. Like, because, Danny can give you a program and you won't get any results because you've got to put in everything that Danny's giving you and helping you out. You have to use the resources that are utilized. It's more about, as he said, the things that you don't do than the things you do. One of the things I did voluntarily was I stopped drinking sodas. I stopped eating sweets, and I stopped eating fried foods. Now, the sweets and the sodas was okay as long as they were at my house. Fried foods was a very hard thing. But you add that on top of the diet that Danny gives you and the other, exercise and information he gives you, and it just exponentially explodes over time.
I love that. Yes. And it's like finding that balance too, right? And with you, Mark, that's so amazing that you just said that, because I just told like my clients that this morning. It's not about like losing weight is not about the fancy diets. It's just about eliminating the BS foods you used to eat all the time. That's really what it is. Like people just think like, oh, I don't know how to diet. It's like what you're eating now is just not the best fuel for your body. So let's just make those changes initially. And I love it. And like for you, I know you like, your margaritas and stuff, right? So just finding that balance and finding that, what's sustainable for you is definitely going to help you. And that's why you've made it sustainable for yourself. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even the margarita stuff too is like, I stopped drinking. A friend of mine and I stopped drinking for 8 weeks. Now, instead of having a drink, every night or even multiple times a week, I'll have one a week, maybe.
Nice. Good for you.
Because it's unnecessary calories and it doesn't do you any good. So it's helped me to get further in my goal. Just tell me it would. So
yes, 100%. I love it. I love it. So this has been amazing so far, Mark. I appreciate you. Last thing is just for the audience, right? For anybody listening to this, like thinking about starting their fitness journey, they were kind of struggling in your position, like sedentary job. They want to really lose weight, tone up, but they're lacking that motivation and accountability. Like, what would you say to them right now?
just do it. I mean, it's an easy statement. It's like, make that commitment. If the financial commitment really is nothing, the commitment that people have to do is they have to be dedicated to follow your program and to use you to your fullest advantage. That's the thing I can say is like, because it was worth it for me. It helped change my life. I don't look anything like I used to. I'm probably in the best shape that I've ever been in my life. And I used to run marathons when I was in my 40s. So for that's a lot. And we're not getting older. We're not getting any younger. And it doesn't get any easier. So start today with Danny. I mean, like I said, you've done amazing things for me. You've helped me. You kicked me in the butt when I needed to be kicked in the butt. And then you give me compliments when I need to be complimented too. So it helps out. Do it. And it'll change your life forever.
Mark, I appreciate you. That honestly means a lot. It really does. It really does. Like, thank you so much. And if I could have 50, 100 of you in the program, that would be freaking amazing. All right. You're crushing it. Look at those guns, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I don't old man anymore. So
no, not an old man. Hey, age is just a number. I always used to tell that to you. You're crushing it. I'm so proud of you. So any other thoughts, comments, anything you want to say to the audience before we log out here?
No, I mean, just give Danny a shot. Reach out to him. Look at it, the stuff he has posted online. He's an amazing coach. He'll help you, and he can help you transform your life if that's what you want. And I think at this point in time, everybody should do this.
Mark, I appreciate you. It means so much, honestly. I did not tell Mark to say any of this. I did not. He's really just speaking because he was like, Mark, you were one of my first clients, like ever, when I really started taking this seriously, I should say. And I'll be completely honest, like I had some limiting beliefs in myself. I had some self-doubt. I only had like 5 clients. You were one of them. And I was like, fuck, do I even know what I'm doing? Like, fuck, can I even get these people results? And then when I saw your transformation, right? When I saw you lose 27 pounds in our 90-day transformation, I was like, I can fucking do this. Yes. Like, so your transformation, Mark, was just like amazing. And I just thank you so much for saying all these things today. I really do appreciate you. If people want to enroll and sign up, that's amazing. Even if they just start on their own, from this podcast right here, because you inspired them, that would be amazing as well. 6 years old, has the guns of a 22-year-old, and he's freaking crushing it. And he's consistent, motivated. Like you said, age does not matter. But that's it. All right, Mark, you can stay right here. We're going to chat a little bit. But for everybody else, DC Fitness Squad and the podcast, I really appreciate you. And we will talk to you soon. Mark, if you want to say goodbye, we are out of here.
Good luck, everybody. Sign out.
Thank you so much, Mark. Talk soon.
All right.